Hey guys, welcome to episode number 454. Today is Wednesday, so it's DIY Wednesday, and today we have success. We have successfully solved our problem with the wall-mounted fry rack, and I'm happy to announce that everything is now working as intended. Now, two issues that I ran into last week, which I shared and everyone seemed to agree with, was that I didn't have enough back pressure, and essentially what that means is there was too much water and too much of the pressure from the pump being released out into the turtle barrel here, and the lines, the 1/4-inch drip lines, are too small over here, and they were getting gunked up. So there wasn't enough water flowing through those lines. And I've solved both of those problems. The first thing I did here was I cut off the 1-inch line that was in here, and I replaced it with a 45-degree elbow and a ball valve. And this allows me to fine-tune how much back pressure I have on the rest of the plumbing on the pump side of this system. And so if we walk over here, we can take a look at what that looks like. You'll have to excuse the mess. This is what it looks like after I finish a project and haven't cleaned up yet. It's just a total mess of all kinds of parts and pieces and trash and everything else. All right, so here's the pump. Pump is down there. We've cleaned up the plumbing a whole heck of a lot, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Essentially what we have is the full pressure from the pump coming up, going into the turtle barrel, and then it gets restricted by that ball valve. What that does is it causes back pressure on all of the rest of the plumbing on this side of that ball valve. And the only other place for that water to go is up around here into my 1/2-inch line, which you can see is what I replaced all of those 1/4-inch drip lines with. So I've got 1/2-inch lines, which basically just tee off at each level of the shelf. And what I've done is I've installed those self-tapping air valves in the 1/2-inch pipe above each one of these tanks, so that I can then regulate how much water is flowing through each one of these airline tubes into each one of these little tanks. And that seems to have done the trick. There's enough back pressure now that we're getting water flowing up and pressurizing all of these tubes. And if I pull one of these out, we can see we're getting water dripping there. And if I was to open this completely, you can see it's a much stronger stream, and I can shut them off, but I find that, you know, halfway closed is about good. And that's the same story for each and every single one of these breeder boxes. So they are now completely operational. If we take a close up, I don't know if you can see right there, we've got water dripping, overflowing into our gutter system in the back. And so that allows me to just take a quick peek and see if I've got water flowing through these. Another way is just to remove this sponge and make sure that there's water coming over the top there. And another way is just to pull one of these out of the water and see what my flow rate is. But anyways, that is working like a dream. And if one of these, for whatever reason, gets clogged up, all I need to do is probably shut my pump off and then take a toothpick or something else and just scrape out until it opens up. But because I've got so much flow going through these, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. And if I do notice it slowing up, I could just crank it open all the way and it will probably flush itself out, no problem. So both of my issues with this fry rack are now solved. It is now officially, legitimately, completely operational. which is super exciting to see. And I don't have any fish in it yet, but what I want to do is let this run for 24 hours just so I can monitor it and check the flow rates on everything. And when I'm 100% satisfied that everything is working according to plan, I will then start to stock these fry boxes. Again, these are the Marina hang-on back breeder boxes. They're supposed to be hung on the side of your aquarium. I've got them sitting flat on the shelf, and I'm super happy with how it turned out and how it's working. Now, one thing to note, these are the large breeder boxes, so they come with dividers. You can see I put one divider in this tank here, so I can essentially split one of these into 2 or 3 compartments, so I can keep several animals, fish, crayfish, whatever else, in the same container together but separated. And they do come with these lids, and I tried to tap these valves right over the middle of each one of these boxes so that I could run that tubing through the hole that's already in the center of those lids. That way, if I've got something that jumps or tries to escape, I can keep them contained, and I won't have to worry about it. And as you can see here, we do have a little bit of waste buildup on the bottoms of some of these. That's because previously I had run this and I hadn't cleaned anything out. And I have a turkey baster, but as you can see, it doesn't quite fit into these containers. So I think I have 2 options. I can find a turkey baster that's not quite as big, and that might work to quickly siphon the bottom of these. I could put this full blast so that I can kick up the junk on the bottom and hopefully cause some of it to spill over through the sponge. Or my favorite option would be to just shut the valve off completely, pick up this box with both hands, and then I could just either dump it into a tank or dump it into a bucket, and then I could, you know, wash it out and then put it back. I think that might be the fastest option, and if I do that once a week to each one of these tanks, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to go through all of them. So anyways, guys, that's the update on the wall-mounted fry rack. Completely operational. Next step is to get some fish in it. I will certainly shoot some videos on that next week so you can see what I've come up with for some critters to put in these tanks. I've got plenty of live bears that are ready to give birth, so I might try some of that just to start out and see how it does. Anyways, guys, I've got a lot of cleaning up to do, but I did want to update you on this system. Super excited that that was a quick and easy fix, and now everything is working flawlessly. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.